Avengers! Assemble.
Whether it's Avengers Endgame or Zack Snyder's Justice League, we know we're about to experience something extremely fun, entertaining, and riveting whenever a bunch of superheroes team up in favor of a common objective or against a common enemy. We love to see how superheroes with distinct personalities and different backgrounds interact and form dynamics with each other as they learn to not just accept and tolerate each other, but the team itself becomes central to their identity as they become a collective force to be reckoned with, always having each other's backs. In this video, we're going to talk about the 8 most dangerous superhero organizations. Alright folks, without wasting any more time, let's jump right in.
For Darkseid.
Justice League. We all saw them in full glory in Zack Snyder's Justice League. A team of superheroes teaming up to fight against Steppenwolf and Darkseid, consisting of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg. In that epic movie, we also saw their formidability as a team. When the Justice League was first introduced to the public through comics, the original members of the team were Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, Flash, and Martian Manhunter. At that time, Cyborg was not one of the original members of the team. He was added later on. Unlike other superhero organizations, the members of the Justice League usually operate independently. Justice League isn't always central to their identity. They only unite when the enemy is way too powerful. In the Snyder Cut, when Superman rises back from the dead, he fails to remember who he is and starts attacking all the other Justice League members. And a big fight ensues between them. But when Superman's girlfriend and reporter for the Daily Planet, Lois Lane, comes to the spot and tries to make him remember his past, they stop fighting. Eventually, Superman regains memories of his past and arrives in time to assist the rest of the Justice League members in their fight against Steppenwolf and Darkseid. And ultimately, the Justice League wins the fight. In the movie, the main obstacle was their infighting. Throughout the fictional history of the Justice League, in some comics, the writers intended to capitalize on the popularity of members who were more popular, such as Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, or Flash. But in other comics, the writers didn't want to deal with the convoluted continuities of extremely popular characters like Superman and Batman. Instead, they just wanted to focus on lesser-known superheroes as they wanted to write character-driven stories. Their collective godly strength is kind of a double-edged sword, because hypothetically speaking, any form of corruption on their part can easily turn them into a menacing and life-threatening force for the entire planet. Avengers. It's 2019. You're watching Avengers Endgame in a movie theater. Captain America is injured and willing to fight against Thanos and his army alone. And then Black Panther shows up. And after that, almost all the MCU superheroes come together to fight against the evil forces of Thanos. Ant-Man, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Hulk, Scarlet Witch, Winter Soldier, and not just them, their whole army shows up. Now, the Avengers have an extremely large and formidable army too, just like Thanos. Thor's hammer comes flying towards Captain America. He grabs it with his right arm and then says, "Avengers, assemble," and the rest is history. The audiences in theaters start losing their minds, cheering, clapping, hooting, and whistling all over the world. History has been created. The entire MCU builds up to that point. The team that defeated Thanos in such an epic fashion should never be underestimated. Each Marvel superhero is pretty special, whether it's Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Captain America, Black Widow, or Guardians of the Galaxy. They all have compelling heroes' journeys, rich backstories, and character motivations that resonate with us. Despite the fact that all of them have godly superpowers, we can relate to them in so many ways because even the non-human superheroes among them have humanity. However, something extremely special happens whenever they unite as the Avengers. And during those moments, their unparalleled coordination and teamwork truly makes them a formidable team of superheroes that can't be messed with. The Avengers are known as Earth's mightiest heroes for a reason, and we should be grateful that they're on our side. Also, their superhero strength is not the only thing that makes them dangerous and formidable. Their willpower and stubborn determination also play a role in that. In Captain America Civil War, almost throughout the entirety of the movie, we see friction between Captain America and Iron Man. Team Captain America and Team Iron Man are constantly battling against each other, and all the events of the movie eventually culminate in the epic climactic fight in which Iron Man is fighting against both Winter Soldier and Captain America. During that fight, Captain America tells Iron Man that he could do this all day. I think you can apply that trait to almost every Avenger. Fiercely determined, principled, stubborn, and willing to fight for what's right. The Avengers never ever back away from a fight, no matter what the circumstances are. They don't even know how to give up.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
X-Men Krakoan Mutant Nation Forces. In the universe of the X-Men, mutants are humans who are born with a genetic trait called Gene X, which gives them superpowers. Due to that, they also face a lot of prejudice, bigotry, persecution, and discrimination that parallels the kind of fundamentally unjust and unfair discrimination and persecution many people face in the real world. Charles Xavier, an extremely powerful mutant with powers of telepathy, runs a school for mutant children that also operates as the secret headquarters of the X-Men. Charles Xavier's old Magneto frequently clashes with him, as you must have seen in iconic movies like X-Men First Class and X-Men Days of Future Past. One of the most popular members of X-Men, Wolverine, brilliantly portrayed by Hugh Jackman in several X-Men films, has completely become ingrained in pop culture. Or we can also talk about the highly underrated and cool as heck Quicksilver. Throughout their fictional history, the X-Men have fought several villainous mutants and other supervillains, bigoted humans, extraterrestrials, and even evil artificial influences. The Krakoa era changes a lot of things for the X-Men. During this era, they create their own sovereign nation on the living island of Krakoa. It's like their establishment of heaven on earth, as it's meant to be a utopia for mutants. A utopia in which they would be free from any form of persecution, discrimination, and oppression. As we've already discussed before, mutants are not to be messed with. And in the Krakoa era, through resurrection protocols, Krakoa's leadership has the ability to revive any mutant that's been killed in combat. Their capability to cure deaths of mutants should not be taken lightly at all. And on top of that, if we consider the persecution and discrimination they faced on Earth, it won't actually be surprising if they become vindictive and turn against the entire world. The existential threat, in their case, would be 100% genuine.
Take action. Fears what's
Green Lantern Corps. A peacekeeping organization that operates across 3,600 sectors of the known universe, the Green Lantern Corps was created by the Guardians of the Universe. Every Green Lantern is selected on the basis of the strength of their willpower. They get a power ring that can create energy constructs and cause devastating attacks at a cosmic scale. Their power ring is controlled by their own will. Oa is their home planet, where their central power battery is located. In 1959, Green Lantern was reinvented in the form of Hal Jordan, a pilot who works at Ferris Aircraft, who eventually gets a power ring. We also saw his character in the Green Lantern movie starring Ryan Reynolds. In the comics, Hal Jordan was one of the founding members of the Justice League. Occasionally, he even led the Green Lantern Corps. Their reach across the universe makes them an extremely formidable organization. S.H.I.E.L.D. Sword Superhuman Security Complex. Throughout the history of Marvel, S.H.I.E.L.D. has changed its form several times. Originally, the acronym used to stand for Supreme Headquarters International Espionage Law Enforcement Division. It was later changed to Strategic Hazard Intervention Espionage Logistics Directorate. Nowadays, it stands for Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division. After World War II, S.H.I.E.L.D. recruited many Nazi scientists into their organization. They brought Red Skull associate Arnim Zola into the organization, who started building a secret Hydra organization within S.H.I.E.L.D. In the Marvel Universe, Hydra is an evil, authoritarian, paramilitary, terrorist, and secret organization hell-bent on world domination. In the Marvel Universe, there's another secret organization called S.H.I.E.L.D, which stands for Sentient World Observation and Response Department. S.H.I.E.L.D. primarily focuses on domestic superhuman threats existing on planet Earth. On the other hand, S.W.O.R.D. focuses on extraterrestrial and extra-dimensional threats. The infiltration of Hydra into S.H.I.E.L.D. should send a shiver down your spine. What makes S.H.I.E.L.D. really dangerous is the fact that it's a secret organization that belongs to the morally gray world of espionage. In that world, moral clarity is a far-fetched dream. Nothing is clearly good or clearly evil. Nothing is out in the open. Almost everything is hidden or obscure. And innocent civilians might not even know when S.H.I.E.L.D., while operating behind the scenes and probably under the influence of Hydra, would turn out to be evil and start acting against the interests of humanity. We see something similar happening in Captain America: Winter Soldier, arguably one of the most political films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Dark Avengers. During the Skrull invasion of Earth, Norman Osborn removed Tony Stark from his position as the head of superhuman affairs and officially and legitimately became the leader of the Avengers. He also became the director of Hammer, which replaced S.H.I.E.L.D. An extremely twisted version of the classic Avengers, the Dark Avengers formed by Norman Osborn were supposed to carry out his personal agenda. One of the reasons why the Dark Avengers are extremely dangerous is the fact that they're not simply villains one can easily identify out in the open. They exploit the identity and reputation of the Earth's mightiest heroes for nefarious purposes. The Dark Avengers can erode the public's faith in the Avengers. And not just that, they can erode the public's faith in the concept of superheroes altogether. And when public trust erodes, all kinds of bad things associated with human societies are not that far away. Political polarization, conflicts, civil wars, extremism. When real heroes get shunned by the public, it doesn't matter who wins in the eyes of the public, because the public perception towards superheroes has already been meddled with. A successful impersonation is way more than a physical victory, it's a psychological victory. When the Dark Avengers were established, Bullseye took the place of Hawkeye, Moonstone became Miss Marvel, and Venom, unsurprisingly, became Spider-Man. The murderous and evil Daken adopted the identity of his father, Wolverine, and the alien Kree invader, Novar, became Captain Marvel. Norman Osborn himself became Iron Patriot, adopting the identity of both Iron Man and Captain America. Although the real Avengers managed to eventually defeat and arrest Norman Osborn, the Dark Avengers is a testament to how evil beings with evil intentions can masquerade as saviors and superheroes. Vought International, The Boys. It's nearly impossible to find a superhero organization more evil and dangerous than Vought International. If you've read the Boys comics or watched the Amazon Prime series, you already know what we're talking about. In the universe of the Boys, Vought International was founded by a former Nazi geneticist, Frederick Vought, for the purpose of developing superhumans through Compound V. Vought International's main superhero team is the Seven, led by Homelander. It has an extensive PR machinery that successfully manages to convince people that the Seven is a team of superheroes who are always more than eager to save innocent civilians in trouble for the greater good. But the reality is starkly different from the perception created by Vought's PR machinery. Homelander never ever flinches before committing heinous crimes against humanity. He never shies away from debauchery or doing something purely for self-serving purposes, out of an alarming lack of concern for human life. Long story short, Homelander is a psychopath. In the first episode of the first season of The Boys, we saw how A-Train's actions are covered up by Vought. In another episode, we see how Homelander lets the innocent civilians in the plane die in a plane crash and then makes a dishonest speech to the media about what happened and also tells them that it would be better for the Seven to be a part of the US military. Vought always cares about its profits and image, as well as the image of its superheroes, way more than actually caring about human life. And on top of that, it creates the misleading perception among the public that it does care about the value of human life. And this is what makes this evil superhero organization dangerous beyond belief. Since World War II, Vought International has always wanted their superheroes to be an integral part of the United States military. After manufacturing faulty fighter planes for World War II and faulty assault rifles for Vietnam, leading to heavy casualties on the American side in both the wars, Vought's reputation tanked significantly. However, over the years, Vought International successfully managed to rebrand itself as an entertainment company and a giant corporation, producing merchandise, comics, and movies. But despite the rebranding, Vought's desire to make their superheroes a part of the United States military remained intact. Everything about Vought International is evil, psychopathic and narcissistic beings with superpowers, corporate greed gone way too far, trying to escape accountability whenever possible, manufacturing a crisis, a giant corporation lying to the public about what it really is, covering up the most heinous atrocities imaginable committed by their own so-called superheroes. The Authority. What really makes the Authority dangerous is their lack of limitations. They travel through borders and even dimensions to fight injustices. They deal with international conflicts, hostile governments, and multiversal threats. A massive ship with the ability to travel across dimensions is their headquarters. They believe in direct action, believing that any act of injustice should be swiftly dealt with. The Authority, as a superhero organization, was created in the late 1990s. Later, it became a part of DC Comics. James Gunn, known for directing the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy and currently the co-chairman and co-CEO of DC Studios, has announced the Authority as part of the DCU's first chapter. I think that would be one hell of a movie. What do you guys think? Jenny Sparks, Midnighter, Apollo, the Engineer, Jack Hawksmoor, and Swift are the key members of the Authority. Jenny Sparks is the founder of the team, who is strategic, sharp, and unafraid to make difficult choices. Midnight is a lethal hand-to-hand fighter with a battle computer in his brain. He knows how the fight will end before it starts. Apollo is often compared to Superman in terms of strength. The Engineer is able to form weapons, armor, and tools from her own body. Jack Hawksmoor draws power from cities. Swift keeps the entire team grounded with his morality. From every angle, this is an organization of superheroes definitely not to be messed with. Whenever superheroes team up, stakes become extremely high. Even the audience starts believing that maybe the threat is genuinely existential this time. And in other cases, the expectations are subverted. Beings with superpowers unite, not to save the world, but to commit acts of debauchery. Alright folks, time to sign off. We hope you enjoyed our list of the most dangerous superheroes. And remember, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thank you for being with us. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon with our next video.